Well, I had to eat before we got here.
You ate? You didn't do 72 hours?
I'm so annoyed about this.
That's very poor.
Yeah, well, the way I was thinking was that, like, I didn't want to
You weren't thinking.
And then I didn't want to be like, firstly, I was starting to get a bit cranky, and I was like, I don't want that energy on the pod. I don't think that's going to, like, produce good content.
Yeah.
Me just, like, whinging. And then secondly, I was like, I don't want to get into a situation later where I'm past the time of 72 hours, but I can't figure out when to, like, stop and eat because I'm moving around.
You got a couple of gigs.
Yeah, got a couple of gigs. So
I
I
was
was like,
play that. Don't worry, the floggers know, mate.
So-
You're busy. You're a man in demand.
So I was just like, if I could just, I'll eat now and then I can relax and then I don't have to worry about it.
So you wanted to do the fast to find out a bit of self-discovery, and we've
Yes.
discovered that you're a quitter.
All right, so it was like 69 hours, I think. So that's pretty
Nice.
close. 16, yeah.
I think that should be the official fast. Did you know the 69-hour fast? Yes.
Yeah.
You're only allowed one meal, if you get what I mean.
So anyway, it was a journey of self-discovery.
Do you feel different now?
I felt today like I felt a bit like I was on drugs. Like I was feeling a bit... my body was buzzing a bit. I think it was just my stomach eating itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah.
That was like a bit of a...
I mean, people have talked about having increased focus and all these kind of things. I didn't feel that unless you count having your sole focus being I'm really hungry.
Did you try to cure your ADHD with being hungry?
Yeah, and it made it so much worse. Anytime I tried to do any work, it was like, hey, dude, you're hungry. Can we talk about that?
You're hungry. And what else was Bart the Baron again? Let's get to the bottom of this.
I found I could only work in like 5-minute bits, and then I'd just go down a rabbit hole of thinking about how hungry I was, and then go back to 5-minute. And that's worse slightly than usual.
Right. What would it look like otherwise? On a full stomach?
On a full stomach, I can get out through like 15-minute blocks of work.
Yeah.
Before I get distracted.
You're almost Pomodoroing.
What?
Mate, you could almost get abs twice. 7-minute abs? 6-minute
That's
abs.
good.
Shit, which one is it? What increment of time for the abs?
Yeah, which is the real one and which is the something about Mary joke?
Something about Mary
I thought
joke.
it was 8-minute abs, and then
Yeah, I think
it suggests 7-minute abs.
I thought it was 7. He suggests 6.
Yeah, I think...
Like Ben
6.
Stiller's like, what about the guy who comes along and is like 6-minute abs? Like, what are you, crazy? You can't get abs in 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good bit.
Good bit. Good film.
Yeah, classic.
Holds up.
Fucking hell.
Matt Dillon. Good job.
What else? Oh, one thing I was thinking about today about the fast was
What did you think about for 5 minutes then, mate?
I was thinking, like, if the three of us were ever in like a private jet and it crashed, right, in the middle of the snow.
Why do we have to be in a private jet?
Well, I was sort of thinking a scenario where it would only be us on a plane.
Oh, okay.
You know? And so...
Just a really unpopular flight time.
This route makes no sense.
the red eye to Adelaide. We're stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the old
plane
Christchurch to
crashes.
Port Moresby. A famously snowy place, Port Moresby.
We crash in snow. I'm the sole survivor.
Well, I mean, I've lost interest.
You guys... Well, you might get some interest back.
Okay.
When I was starting to think about, like... what I know is that if I was lost in the wilderness around dead bodies, I wouldn't eat another person on day one. I wouldn't. I'm not eating you on day one, but I think by day 3, I would start to just pinch the bodies a little bit.
Look, if I had to guess, approximately 69 hours in.
Right?
That's probably when you'd give it a bash. Then our corpses would whisper, quitter.
I think at that point, I would start to pinch just to be like, hypothetically, if I was going to eat one of you, where would I start? Like, what's the piece of the body that I'm going to first?
But who would you start with? I thought we were going there. Or do you just want to know where on the body?
I mean, that's also an important question.
You would
I
prefer to eat me? You must prefer to eat me. Tom's in significantly better shape.
Is that? I've never tried to eat
Tom's
muscle.
legs look meatier. That looks could be a good piece of meat to cook up or eat
big
raw.
thigh.
Or eat raw.
Let me put it this way. Do you like Wagyu beef or a kangaroo? Wagyu beef, baby. Konnichiwa.
I don't know. I want a bit more fat on the bone. You're wiry. You know?
This is pretty hurtful. I'm dead and this fucking slagging me off.
You are quite wiry, though. That's true.
but I'd also have to figure out where. Okay, so it doesn't matter who I would eat first. Okay,
Sure.
Because I think we can all agree we'd all rather eat Hamo.
yeah,
You're just going to start auto-cannibalizing instead.
I'd be a good feast. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'd keep you guys both alive.
But like eating Hamo, like I think you'd look at the bits with the tats on them and be like, "Oh, was this cooked through?" I don't want to get salmonella, which I assume we have. Like I don't know for sure.
Have you ever seen Matt Stone and Trey Parker made a musical like before South Park? It was called Cannibal, the musical.
I'm aware of it. I've not seen it.
I've not seen it.
When I was really sick, when I was like maybe like how old would I have been? Like maybe like 12 years old. So it was like 25 years ago. It was like they made it on like a shoestring budget. And it is so funny. And he brought it over to like cheer me up. And it was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, it's really funny. But in that, they start eating each other. They pass around body parts. And the guy who plays Squeak, I think in like basketball, he has to eat ass, like a big piece of. He's like, I don't want to eat butt, and I'm like, that's a funny conversation to have about like one guy not wanting to eat one of the part of the body. But rump would be quite good on a cow, so I would assume on a human it'd be quite all right.
Dan, do you want to quote a piece of funny movie dialogue next, or should I?
I can see why they chose that to be a scene. That's a humorous conversation. I don't want to eat ass. This is the 90s. That means you're gay, not cool.
I don't want to eat butt.
Dude, in 2024, like eating ass means you're cool.
Yeah.
Like, that was a stand-up trope for ages.
I should redo the movie.
That was
New
a
jokes.
thing. It's just like, I'm eating ass. Like, and everyone just clapping. Being like, oh man, this guy's progressive. You know?
Yeah, well, they should redo the movie. That's a new joke right there. Boom.
I would have thought the ass would actually be quite a good, like rump, right? I reckon that'd be a good one to eat.
Absolutely.
Like, was it like a cheek or was it like
was
the
a cheek.
whole ass?
It was a cheek.
Cheek. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds all right.
But like your mate's cheek in your face, I don't know. Even if it's cooked, you'd be like, oh,
You wouldn't be ready for it.
like it probably does taste great, but you're like,
It probably tastes great.
don't tell it.
This is all just big agriculture lying about the quality of human meat, trying to push these shit-ass cows on us. We could be eating ass. Human ass.
Yeah, you'd enjoy.
Forget Angus beef, just eat Angus. That's the guy. That's the fella.
So that's what I've been thinking about.
So where would you start? I thought this was the whole point. You thought this through, or you just
I would start probably with the thigh.
the thigh?
I think
That's
thigh
reasonable.
looks like it's a good meaty part that's not too chewy compared to like.
But it's hairy.
Yeah, but you
gotta skin it.
Skin it.
Yeah.
You don't just pluck it.
I don't think so. I think you skin it.
Oof.
Don't you skin a rabbit, you skin a like you take the hide off a cow before you eat it.
Have you ever done any of these things?
I've heard.
I was like, you skin a rabbit, and I'm like, all right, cadets, you're right.
checks out.
When I was I must have been like 13 or 14. My uncle's got a property in the country, and I was out with him and my cousin, and they had a flock of sheep that I think were pretty much just for like their eating, and I watched them slaughter and skin and like break up a sheep in front of me, and it was just so traumatic. I swear they were trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
Like it was,
That
you know,
you're a pussy?
that I'm a pussy, and it was well made, stuck with me.
Did they try to get you involved?
Not really. Like I was just kind of. It was all the men in the family, which is the three of us. Like the rest were all girls, so I was with them regardless, I think. And they did this thing, and I just remember the one job that I was given was they took the head of the sheep, like fully intact, put it on a wooden block, cut it in half, and say, "Can you split that between the dogs?" Like carry it. They put it in a bucket, and I had to carry it, and I was like trying to like empty the bucket without touching the head, and then they both fell. I was trying to like scoop it back half back in the bucket. It was rough. Dinner was lovely though.
Dude, that's so funny for me just because like we've both got Labradoodles. Just like giving them a sheep's head, they're like, dude, gross. This is fucking inhumane, man. I'm vegan.
Yeah.
I live in the eastern suburbs. This is fucked.
Is this grass fed or grain?
That's a good little rite of passage, though. How old did you say you were?
I think I would have been 12 maybe.
Yeah, okay, fuck.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Didn't have a great time.
All right.
Yeah, got the ringtone on.
It's his management.
His management. Oh, well.
It must be about the audition thing.
About the big audition.
Oh, we're
so
going to talk about this.
I have to do an audition tomorrow, but I have to do an American accent.
Let's hear it.
Tell us about the character. Where in America is he from? Or she.
It just and non-specific. I don't think they specify. They just say, "Can you speak in an American accent?" Unless I probably, if it was you need to be like a Boston accent, they'd be that specific. I reckon.
Hawaiian.
So what have you got? Like, come on.
Well,
Can you give us a bit now? Do you want us to do American accents with you to like warm you up for this role? Age you up.
I don't know if I can do it in front of other people.
It's weird, man. Tom can only say one thing in his American accent. Read my manifesto.
See, that's what I was focusing on. It was the vowels, right?
The vowels, manifesto. It's like you're an American. What kind of American are you?
Okay.
Which kind are you?
Yeah. What are you doing now?
It's kind of like condescending LA bitch.
Okay, yeah.
That's where I was at. What kind of American are you? I'm from Portland. It's different here.
I gotta be a hitman.
Yeah.
Where'd you put the money, Robert?
Where'd you put the money, Robert?
Robert,
where'd you put the money?
There we go. Tom's in. There we go. All right. Say, read my manifesto. Give it a go.
I'm just so used to saying it in an Australian accent.
You don't think you'd unlearn it?
Yeah. So, like, can you do one, or is this like one of those things in like Friends where Joey's like, I can speak French, and you're like, no.
I think if I spend a good half an hour going through the lines in the voice, then I'll be able to do it. I don't know if I can do it.
I think you should show up with a very interesting choice, like make him from Minnesota or something. Like do a full Fargo.
Oh, I have tried to do that one.
Robert,
that's
where
a
you
hard
going,
one.
eh?
Yeah, that's got the high pitchness to it. The Minnesota. That's a fucking hard one.
Like, what are you gonna watch a film to like get in? Like maybe like The Departed. You go from Boston. You're from Boston.
No, I was just watching some YouTube videos today about how to do an American accent. That was it.
And what do they say?
Just you got to really emphasize the vowels.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think you got a chance, bro.
Vowels.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it this business, kid.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously couldn't get the part of Funny Steve because
I
Maybe you could get humorous, Steve.
not the kind who gets big laughs, Steve.
I'm hoping to get an update on that because I was like, even if I didn't get a role, I'd like to just get some kind of like, what was it that the audition tape was just shit or was I too fat? Because the character's supposed to be skinny, and I'm not skinny at the moment.
I'm available.
You are.
To be the bikey, funny Steve. I reckon I'd fit right in.
Yeah. You could pull it off with some sleeve tats, maybe.
Yeah, it's just like, man, the first time I got into motorcycling was during cadets. You know, I really enjoyed it.
This guy's a cop for sure.
Just got like my bikey jacket and it's got like the emblem or whatever, but it's also got Captain Volleyball 2007.
I do love the fact that you didn't get an acting role and your instinct's like, I must have been too fat. Must have been the problem. I can't imagine what else it was.
Hey, I was part of the Australian Youth Theatre. I was a child star. I was an actor, baby.
What do you mean
Yeah,
you're part of the
yeah.
Australian Youth Theatre?
I used to I did acting in TV commercials as a kid.
How does this never come up? This is like during the live show where you're like, oh yeah, my dad's a priest and my mum's a nun.
Well, we've talked about me being, I was an extra in the movie Australia.
Yeah. That's very different to being in
The Australian
commercials.
Youth Theatre.
Yes.
Yep. So I did a couple of ads and stuff. I was also did a couple of shoots for the Big W catalogs. No, just bit of a brag there.
Is that where your body dysmorphia started? Why am I not with average W?
He had this long wavy hair that looked like really like lame, but like was like the modelly look.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Oh, like 10, 11, 12.
Oh, okay.
Is there any footage of this that exists?
I don't know if there's any footage. Oh, there was one that I've always tried to dig up from when I was 18. I did a commercial for a Korean mobile phone brand. And the whole gimmick...
Did you do the eyes?
That wasn't where I was going with that. I was just like, it's a Samsung, right? Like, is that... Are there more Korean mobile phones?
Wait, do you mean
it was
Korea,
from
like manufacturer, or you mean provider?
They were the manufacturer or the provider of the brand. So like, what's Toshiba maybe? What's,
Oh, okay.
But
That makes way
So-
more sense than what I was thinking.
so-
I thought you were like doing Vodafone Korea, like you were showing up dubbed.
Like a celebrity? Like...
Yeah.
there was mostly white people in the ad, but it was filmed for Korean TV.
Oh, it was
so-
for Korean
so
TV.
Tom was
yeah,
actually
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
like when Alec Baldwin showed up in those. What was he like? Insurance ads in Australia. Do you remember that?
Was it insurance?
I think it was.
I thought it was like I thought there was like an Uber one or something. Well, Shaq's in all the PointsBet ads.
Yeah.
That's everywhere.
And Snoop's been in the menu log ad.
Snoop and menu log. But wasn't Kim Kardashian? Was that menu log again?
One of the Jenners was in the Uber Eats, I think, and whatever the mum Kardashian is, the matriarch of it all, was in the Uber Eats.
Kris Jenner.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. And how many Jenners?
You know your Jenners? Congrats. Yeah. So what? That's the only one you try to track down. The Korean phone commercial.
So what happened was, the gimmick of the ad was that the phone was so shiny that the sun would reflect off this phone, and people would run away because it was so bright. Right? This was the concept of the ad.
The Toshiba Eclipse. Coming soon to stores near you.
I was in a suit with a briefcase, and I'm walking, like, we shot it down in the rocks.
Yeah.
In like this private backlot, and my character was supposed to just get stuck in the bright light while everyone else ran away, and so I'm like confused businessman. I don't know which way to walk. I'm like, and then it cuts to the next bit. That was me.
Nice.
Wait, how old are you in this?
I was like 18.
So we fast forward 7 years. I missed that.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just.
It wasn't a confused child businessman.
I was going to say.
Sorry. But this ad, I was like, I'll never hear of that again. Then my sister, for some reason, was on a flight and I had to stop over in Korea overnight.
Yes.
And she was turning on the TV, and apparently the ad was on every 5 minutes. And she was like lost. I mean, she was just like depressed. She was in Korea. She wanted to go home. And then the only thing she knew, when she turned on the TV, she had the comforting face of her own idiot brother on the TV.
Was this like soon after the ad or a while after?
It was probably 6 months to a year after.
Did you get more cash?
No.
Because
No.
I had this thing when my friend was in an ad, and then I saw it, and I messaged her on Instagram, be like, "Hey, saw your ad, congratulations." She was like, "What? That shouldn't be available in like that country."
Yeah,
And
wow.
I was like, "Oh yeah, it is." And she got like 20 grand.
They had weird rules with extras for like these commercials as well. Whereas like people always, there's a thing called featuring. So even if you don't have any dialogue, if you do an action or you're on the screen for longer than what is considered just extra work, then you're supposed to get extra cash. But I don't think I saw any of that.
Do you reckon one of the Yeah Mad clips has gone viral in Seoul and people are like, is that the Toshiba guy?
Is that esteemed businessman?
He's gone from telephones to TV. Good on it. He's doing very well.
So yes, we used to joke in my family that I'm big in South Korea. So maybe I should go there one day, just test it out.
Mate,
On
see,
tour.
see if it's cracked the north. You know, this product came out 20-ish years ago. Like, they might be getting it. Could be time.
But yeah, I didn't make much money from it. I was a couple of random commercials when I was like 10, 11, 12, but nothing that hit the big time. I had like a rival, this other young kid from my area that used to get all the big jobs.
What was his
And he
name?
might have had a little accident.
Gonna cut up that pretty face of his.
And that only gets work during the Paralympics.
No, shout out to Sam Gear.
Sam
There we go.
Gear?
Yeah, I hope you're doing well now, mate.
Sam Gear.
Yeah.
Is that when you're like, gear? That's what people want. I know what I'm doing for a living.
Sam Gear.
Inspired.
What's Sam Gear doing these days, you know?
I don't think he does anything famous.
You reckon he's a Nepo baby? Like, this is Richard Gere's kid? Fucking Sam Gear.
It was spelled differently, I think. But, yeah.
I didn't realize you had all these acting chops, Hamo. I just thought you were being typecast. I didn't realize I'd seen you reel.
When I was in high school, I didn't want to study acting because I was like, no, it's going to ruin my love of it if I have to study it. So I would just do it on the side. So like they had at my school, they had the Shakespeare Festival, right? Which is a competition. And I partnered up with a guy who studied drama, who was like the captain of drama, and we got to the state finals of the Shakespeare Festival.
Nice.
With a scene out of a Merchant of Venice. And the whole time, the woman who ran drama at my school was just like, who is this kid who's involved? Like, I'm just some like bad boy that doesn't study drama that's involved somehow just tangentially with drama. Like, what's he do? My God, he can act.
You're like the kid in the sports movie. Dazed and confused. The quarterback won't sign the piece of paper. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting Aerosmith tickets.
That's it. Like, who is this guy? Who is this rogue that just like, he loves to act, but he won't study it?
You were the talk of the drama department. What's this jock doing stealing all our roles?
I thought it was cool. In hindsight, I should have studied it. I probably would have loved it.
Especially the joke, you're like, hey, I made it to the finals of the Shakespeare competition. It's like, that's not how Shakespeare works. You got the role.
I just like the idea that you didn't want to study it at high school. It's like, yeah, I've heard a lot of people doing drama and losing their taste for the business. Yeah, man, all that theatre sports in year 11 just made me open my eyes. You know? We're just not valued. We need a union.
That's essentially the lame thought that I had in my head. I don't want to kill my hunger for it, man.
And that's why you have no interest in geography anymore. Carried that all the way through. It's like the Marianas Trench, man. That's so 2003. I don't give a fuck.
But maybe now it's my time to shine, baby.
Dude, you can be back. Back in the game. Never lost your hunger for it.
Yep.
You're coming back.
After all these years.
The big comeback.
So what's the role beyond being American?
I play a hitman.
A hitman.
Who's dying.
Who's dying?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Scene. Yep.
Is this, and how central the character?
Very, very minuscule.
Oh, okay.
He has like 2 throwaway lines and then I die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He's not, I thought you meant he was like terminal.
He's at the doctor's office like, David, you're dying.
Oh no. Emphasize my vowels. Do I have cancer?
I got the cancer.
Sorry.
Is it terminal?
I've described this poorly. He's like, it's like an action movie. I try to kill the main guy and then I get killed.
In an action film?
In an action
That
film.
never happens.
But before that, I say a couple of cool lines.
Well, you can't say it. We've done this before. You've tried to read stuff out of the fucking podcast and I have to bleep it. So shut up.
Yeah, we're not giving too much away here.
Yeah, just the accent. We know exactly how he's going to sound.
You're like, my
And we're
God.
pretty sure how he's going to look.
Yeah, wait till you see a funny hitman in the next John Wick. You'll be like, was that Hammer's role? Did he beat Hammer for that?
Maybe they'll, again, be like, he's got the acting, he got the lines right, but he's too fat.
Yeah. Even after the fast, still a fat fuck.
Dude,
Maybe those extra 3 hours would have made a difference.
It's implausible for someone that fat to be a hitman. Everyone's going to hear the fucker coming.
Yeah, how can he be that fat? He's terminally ill.
Look, this is a segue sitch, but I got a thing. I got a theory for the boys.
Segue.
Throw it at me.
It's film related. As a movie school graduate, you might know a bit about it. Thank God he went to movie school, so we can know those technical terms like feature and do an action. I've been recently. Look, I never had Foxtel growing up as a kid. I never a pay TV kid. I was a free to air boy. I've
Foxtel.
never. I was always jealous of you pieces of shit.
You had Foxtel Hammer?
I had Foxtel, and before that, we had the one before that when like cable TV first came out called Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Early adopter.
It was like, oh, this is a big thing.
Hammer's writing it off on tax.
Multiple channels, Nickelodeon. It was crazy.
Dude, I didn't even realize there was a thing pre-Foxtel.
Oh, you better believe it. And it was like,
Did you do an ad for this as well?
it was like a whole new world, man. It was like, holy shit, the universe is changing to have this box. This guy comes to your house with a box and sets it up. And then next thing you know, it's like, wait, we've got more than 5 channels. And then you have like way more than 5. You've got like an extra 50 channels.
Wow.
And you're like, it's just shit you would never want to watch. But you're like, but no, I can. Now I can.
Wait, so was it the same? Did it go on to become Foxtel? Were the shows that were on, or were the channels that were on Galaxy?
I could be wrong, but I think that Foxtel was a competitor that came in and just like blew them out of the market or something like that.
What a shame.
And you didn't have either, Dan. You fucking loser.
I'm a man of the people.
So,
I'm like Oliver Twist, bro. I want some more channels.
because like even so, your parents just they weren't having a bar of it.
No, at no point. They entertained. I had a next door neighbor who had it. Very jealous. Spent a lot of time at his house. Sorry,
Yeah.
Paul. But you know, I wanted what I wanted.
Because there's so many dads, like mates I knew, who like their parents were like, "Oh, we don't want Foxtel for the kids, but like the dads love sport or something, so they just have the sports pack."
My dad
Yeah.
did love sport. My dad's also a tight piece of shit.
Yeah.
So he never gave in. I was like, Dad, don't you watch the cricket when it's in India?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. I'll read about it the next day. I'm just kidding. Listen to AM radio. He hears about it the next day.
That
But
seemed to be the best way in to pitch Foxtel to a parent, was to go for the dad, and sport seemed to be a pretty easy sell to the once you got it in the house to be like, well, for an extra $5, Dad, we can get the TV package or the movie package or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So you'd slow play it. You build it up.
Well, I didn't have to, but other people I know did.
Right. Well, no, I never had anything, but I've got access to it now, and I've got access to the movie channels.
And how are you finding it?
I fucking love it, bro. My eyes are hanging out of my head because I've watched Lord of the Rings last night before Dazed and Confused, and a bit of... I watched Happy Gilmore. I watched Lord of the Rings 2 as well. I watched 2 and 3, and I bet one's coming around any time now. I can wait this thing out. I fucking love it, man. On demand is a scam. We thought it's what we wanted. We didn't. No one wants to make any more decisions in their life. When it's just on, you have 7 to choose from. You don't need to watch from the start. You don't care. It's perfect.
No, I 100% agree. I would never go out of my way to find Happy Gilmore, but if it's on, I'll put it on.
Absolutely. And you'll be stoked.
Yeah.
You'll be so happy.
Because one more recent invention on Foxtel was Foxtel IQ, right? Which is where you can record stuff.
Yes.
So like sometimes I would sit there and see like there's a movie coming up in 2 days. So I'm like, I haven't seen that in a while. So then you just press record on it.
I don't want to plan my fucking life out, bro. I want to live in the moment. I want to turn the TV on. I got 7 movies. I'm picking one. I'm watching it. I got Dazed and Confused the other night.
I mean,
it'd be cooler if you did, followed by all right, back to back.
I mean, you sound like you're just pitching what normal TV is now because even when in jail, we would be debating there's 4 movie channels on at night. You've got
in jail?
You got 7, Mate, 9 Gem, 9 Go. They've all got movies on at night. So I'm watching Deadpool, Shawshank. I'm watching Shawshank for the 5th time. I'm watching The Godfather.
In Prison of Shawshank, they just turn it off before the escape.
That's where it ended.
Don't get any ideas.
They cut out that bit. It's just them meeting on the beach at the end or something like that.
Oh, man. It wasn't good to serve our time. I should feel like I wouldn't offend again, Red.
But there's so many movies anyway.
But I just feel like the movie channel, because there's no ads on the Foxtel movie channel. It's just, straight through. But mainly it's just taking away the burden of choice. I've loved it. Mary and I, we chuck the Netflix on, we chuck anything else on. We're just scrolling. You're trying to pick the right thing. Like there's a right thing.
Yeah. And every time you start the right thing, there's always in the back of your mind, like, I could have picked something better.
Totally.
Better than this.
Yeah, I do a lot of aborting. You're like 15 minutes in, you're like, this was a bad pick.
You'll bail.
I'll bail.
Man, I made it all the way through the fucking Manchurian Candidate, and I did not need to.
The Manchurian? I didn't even know what the Manchurian Candidate...
It's like a guy who's kind of... The army unit's been brainwashed by a thing, by the senator mother who's kind of like a rip-off of Hillary Clinton, and she's like, I never watched Hillary Clinton. It's like, you fucking did. And it figures out, and then he shoots the guy, and the mum dies, and America's saved. It was a scientist who put an implant in their head that could make them believe that he was a war hero so he could get elected to the US presidency 10 years later. Dumb.
Yeah. I mean, if the movie was as bad as that explanation, I can't even imagine.
No, it was longer.
Sorry, what movie was this?
Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, there's 2. There's
the OG one.
Yeah.
Which is about a person from Manchu, which makes fucking sense. And the next one is just hey, the same kind of plot, but it's Manchurian Global. Evil corporation.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Dog shit.
Denzel.
I believe Denzel. I'll be honest. I was pretty sure it was Denzel, but I was just going to leave it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any credit in this line for misremembering a black celebrity, do you?
Denzel and I think Lee Schreiber.
Yes.
There we go.
And Helen Mirren. No, wait, not Helen Mirren, the other one. Meryl Streep.
Yep.
Yeah,
The Streep's in.
You didn't want to do that to Denzel, did you?
Exactly. Which one was it? Oh, no. But dude, you could be Dench, Mirren, Streep. Who gives a fuck? As long as I'm in the ballpark, everyone's like, that's fine. I've got a nan.
That is true. Those 3 in particular, Dench, Mirren, Streep. It's like, just take a pick. We'll work it out.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I assume they kind of just pull their roles out of a bowl. Like keys for a swingers party. Oh, who am I doing tonight? Okay, cool. But I've loved it. I've genuinely loved it. I've loved taking away the burden of technology, choosing a film to watch. It has been a revelation. And I feel so good. When I just every night I'm just turning it on and I'm finding something and it's fine.
I'm on the opposite problem because I have a website that was gifted to me where you can log in and you can watch any movie, right?
A website that was gifted to you.
The logins. And on this website...
Is it a little scam?
I think
little
it's a dodgy
scam daddy,
website.
little illegal,
it's dodgy.
illegal.
I don't want to be admitting to breaking the law again, but it's got every...
Imagine they come after you for that. We thought you'd learned your lesson, Hamo. But here you are.
It's going to be like Capone. Well, we couldn't get him for what he wanted, but we got him on low-grade piracy.
Goddamn RICO laws. They got me watching Goodfellas.
My mum sometimes downloads a movie, right?
Whoa! Your mum knows how?
On the Dodge. She knows how. She knows how to do torrents. torrents.
Your mum torrents?
Your mum
Yeah.
can torrent?
Yeah, my mum can torrent.
Dude, you got the coolest mum ever, bro.
I don't know about that, but
Biological
it was
mum,
funny.
stepmum. Is this new stepmum?
No, it's my real mum. And
She can torrent.
And when the undercover cops came to ask me if I wanted to like rat anyone out for a deal, in my head I'm thinking like, is giving up my mum, is that good enough? Like,
So I might know
is
someone who's
torrenting films?
pirating movies. You wouldn't steal a car.
Is that going to work?
Can you imagine?
I'm like,
Your
all right,
mum's
boys.
like-
All right, boys. I didn't want to say this one, but my mum's been illegally downloading movies. Like, are you for real?
This one's big. You might say it's universal.
You might get a promotion for this one. But
Get Harvey Weinstein on the phone. What do you mean it's not working
on
anymore?
this website, I can watch any movie.
Any
and
movie.
so I was for choice.
So what
Right?
do you?
There's too many
Wait, it's a
choices.
login. So you pay for. Someone
Someone
pays
does.
for it.
Someone does.
Or doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Did you get this website login from your mum? It's very rare that you can say that honestly.
Yeah.
No, a girl gave it to me. She's a stripper, and some guy gave it to her, and then she gave it to me as a gift. So then I use it, and it works.
Why is a profession important to this anecdote?
Well, she's. I think that she.
Just to make it very firm, this was not my mum.
I can picture her at a strip club, like asking for tips, and he'd be like, "Here's a tip." I got some logins.
Here's a tip. Every movie 69. Password $1 exclamation point.
That's so funny. Just like slides an iPad down a G-string.
I got something that's worth more than $20. Information.
It's super funny. Just like, yeah, I got it off a stripper. It's cool. It's not just a login. This isn't nerdy, fellas. All right. It was from a hot chick.
So anyway, I'll sit there and I'm like, well, I can watch any movie. So that I'll have to like do a list. I'll look up a list of like 20 greatest thrillers or 20 greatest police procedurals or action movies. And I have
Is
to
that
go
actually
through.
your list? You a police procedural guy?
I like police procedurals.
What? I've never heard the term police procedural movie before.
Well, they follow a procedure.
Few good men.
Like, yeah, just anything where
Like
someone dies,
Okay.
and then the cops have to follow the clues.
Okay, but isn't that just like
A murder mystery is
Okay.
another one. I guess like they call it
Crime?
more traditionally
Just
for like
crime film?
Maybe crime.
crime?
I mean, they traditionally call it for any kind of TV series where it's like a murder show, right?
Where the cop is the protagonist. Is that right? Where you're following?
Yeah.
So you're saying 8 is a police procedural. Famous film 8.
Indeed, it could be called that, or the thriller of our times.
So what do you? So what have you been watching? Anything? So you're saying you have too much to choose from, whereas
Too much choice. So then I spend half an hour just trying to look through lists for like a movie that I don't know scene to scene and can quote all the dialogue, or a movie that it's been long enough that I don't remember it perfectly.
Here's
But I'm like, this will be all right.
Here's a question. All right, you got gun to your head. You have to get 50% of a movie dialogue exactly right. You pick the movie.
Heat.
Heat.
Yep.
Heat. That's a long film too.
Michael Mann, 1995,
That's so
classic.
long.
Yeah.
Like, I think probably me, Ocean's 11.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to have a fucking good go at that. Maybe Snatch as well, but the pikey stuff's a bit hard.
I mean, they talk very fast, those movies, so you might end up like words on the page might be the same as Heat.
Dude, maybe you should give it a go tonight. Practice that American accent.
Oh, that's good.
Then you start doing the hitman as Pacino.
Because you got a great ass! And you got your head all the way up in it.
No, we said an American accent, not an American's accent.
An American's accent.
What am I, fucking owl?
Ooh-ah! I like it. We're on here. This is good stuff. Yeah, but I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think we got played by streaming services. I think they promised us freedom, but actually made us slaves.
Well, you've heard what's coming back now, right? Is ads on streaming services.
Well, there's
So
ads on Foxtel. Have you ever seen ads on Foxtel?
Not on the movie channels.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, but like this is the big thing they're saying about streaming service. So Netflix now has an ad tier, like the entry level tier has ads on it. Prime is bringing it. Binge, which is the Foxtel one, is bringing it. And the things I've read online is like this is exactly what happened with cable in the States. Is when it first came out, the selling point was no ads.
Yeah.
You just watch TV, no other ads. You've already paid your part. You don't have to see anything. And then they start bringing ads in, and pretty soon it's just like regular TV that you pay for.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with subscription services
Dude,
now.
it's like, it's everything, right? Because even a lot of podcasts have sponsors. Hammer, do you want to do an ad read?
Hold on, what movie would you...
No, you got to leave it as a cliffhanger so you make it through the ad break so you're as annoying as fucking TV and cable. I timed this on purpose.
We'll be right back.
I'm furious. Ba-bow.
Oh, yeah, I've got my phone here.
You
Here
got
we
your
go.
phone.
All right.
Yeah, it is genuinely infuriating. I know a new floggers sit through our ads and we really appreciate it because we do need the money. But like, it's infuriating that the internet, like YouTube, has ads. That was the whole thing. No ads.
I thought of you when I saw this. It was on Reddit. There was like a meme about it, but it was about how like Uber's done it with cabs.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it was the cheaper option. Now it's just as expensive as the taxis, if not more. Airbnb's done it with hotels, and then you have the same price for a hotel room. You have to clean up when you're done.
Yeah.
Like they're all just like they come out as these like, oh, we're disruptors of the category, and then they just do exactly what the monopolies did before them.
Absolutely. And the only like I guess traditional industry I have respect for is taxis. Because they looked at Uber offering cheaper services and like more comfortable and made their stuff more expensive and got cuntier. It's incredibly impressive. They were like, we got a competitor. Let's be rude.
Oh god! I remember once like trying to get a cab in the city to get to like a Waratahs game. Fuck, that's a private school sentence.
Yeah, I was running late. My dad was getting cross.
And I remember being in the city and a taxi
He
driver.
needed to meet me at the edge so I could get to the box.
And I forgot my scarf. Boy, was I angry.
Mum said I could catch a chill.
And I just remember this taxi driver like literally being like, where are you going? And I said, oh, more park. He goes, pfft, and just drove away. Oh, like, all right, fuck you.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've had amazing ones. I've had like, oh yeah, going here. And he's like, cool, $30. And I'm like, put the meter on. And he's like, nah. And I'm like,
That happened to me recently in the city.
yeah, I'm like, dude, just put the meter on. I'll pay whatever's on the meter. He's like, nah, $30, man. Meter's fucked. And I'm like,
Yep.
this is the thing. You decided the meter. I don't control the fuck. You made this.
Yeah.
That happened to me for the city recently. I jumped in and he said it was going to be $40 to get home. And I was like, it's $20 at an Uber. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, that's the price. So I just got out and got an Uber for $20. And I was,
Dude,
like, what? I was like, how are these guys making any money?
It's an incredible strategy.
What's going on?
Just like, we are not going to compete on your level. We're not going to meet you halfway. We're going to do what we were doing, but worse.
Yeah.
And occasionally, you got an expense account, and you'll have to take us.
Yeah. And there was the hint of arrogance about it, like as if like, well, you go take your cheap Uber. This is going to be you're getting an inferior product.
I'd like to send like that cab driver a video of you chewing gum and drinking water.
And he'd probably watch the video while he's driving.
He's not driving anybody, man. Everyone turned him down.
You were criticising me the other day for having a wordy ad. There's a lot of paragraphs here.
I'll be honest, Hammer. I was inspired by your fasting, and now the fact that you've eaten has totally ruined this. But I'm going to put it out there. I reckon this is a pretty red hot ad for Pilot. The sponsor of Flog Cabin is Pilot Men's Health.
All right, so Dan has written mine.
Oh yeah, I wrote one for Hammer this week.
All right, floggers, let's get real here. I've been fasting for 3 days. So right now, I need ejaculate off Dana White's smooth head before it had the chance to cool down. What I'm saying is that I'm hungry for anything. Even sperm so alpha that it called the ancient Greeks gay before they figured it out for themselves. But that's intentional fasting. I've been unintentionally fasting for years. If by fasting I mean increasing the speed with which I ejaculate while pushing rope up my girlfriend. Oh, yeah. My cock's not even hard. Forget a double dinner. That's a double disaster. Lucky for me, I found Pilot with their yellow pill, which 9 out of 10 doctors assured me is a sugar-free electrolyte. I'm able to get hard and come late. The dream. And I save $20 on my first order with promo code FLOGGERS20. Disclaimer. Nobody on this podcast actually knows what's inside the yellow pill at a chemical level. Pilot. Hard made easy.
Wow, discrediting the sponsor's product seemed like an odd choice.
No. Is it like, because I said it was a sugar-free electrolyte? I don't know.
Oh,
I want
okay,
to make
yeah,
a claim that it could be, but it's not. I just want to say, Hammer fucked up that lead line there, and I'm very upset with
which
you.
one?
About Dana White's ejaculate or
Yeah.
something? I was so confused.
I've been fasting for 3 days, so right now I need ejaculate off Dana White's smooth head before it had the chance to cool down.
I don't get it.
Because like we're talking about dick pills and like ejaculate is cum.
Do you think when he did it, he made it clearer?
No, I was like, oh great, clarity's coming, and then it didn't.
You guys don't get clarity after you jizz?
Post nut clarity.
Yeah, that's it, baby. Post ad clarity. But yeah, okay. I really liked that first line. I thought that was so fun. The concept of eating jizz off Dana White's smooth head.
I think in a world where you could have suggested that I eat anything, you could have gotten better stuff than that.
I thought that was the weirdest thing to eat. But here's the reason you're doing this thing. Like that's
true. It was the Alpha Boys talking about their life-changing episodes of 72-hour water fast, but I feel like they exaggerated the benefits.
Well, you don't know what the last 3 hours would have been like. You could have started a multi-global millionaire organization.
Do you want to have another run at that, Tom?
Who knows?
I'm 23 hours into a fast right now.
It's awesome to hear something that's less convoluted than my opening line. Anyway, back to movies.
What would be the one that you would know over 50% of the dialogue?
I think it'd definitely have to be maybe like basketball. I reckon.
Oh, that's good.
I would be much better with TV shows. Like I could do like a lot of Simpsons and Friends episodes. I reckon.
What about like a movie where there's like just not a lot of dialogue, like John Wick?
Castaway?
Got 50% of it right. She's like,
yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Castaway? Just going Wilson? Wilson!
Just watching Tom Hanks real close, waiting
like,
to say.
Yeah, you got Wilson, but you didn't have the right inflection.
Look, you pick any of Charlie Chaplin's movies, I reckon I can get it.
Yeah, but then you got to play piano.
I did this competition with my mates where we were both on drugs, believe it or not, and we would watch movies, and we would have a showdown on lines, like who could say more.
The biggest,
the longest.
Who could say more quotes from the movie? And I remember
wait, at the end of the movie, like you did
during the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a cram session when you try and spit them out.
While the movie's playing. So other ones that we nailed were Die Hard. I could get a lot of lines out of Die Hard.
So are you doing the lines along with the movie?
Like the movie's
karaoke?
playing, we're sitting there, and it's just who can smash more well-known or iconic lines through the movie. But the one which I threw him the most with was at the start of Gladiator, where like they have, where they had the fight with like the what were they, like German barbarians?
Yeah.
And he's got the guy's head, and I was like, I tried to do that bit when like the German guy just yells out in German like "Iba Lupanida," but I got it like way better than that.
I'm sorry to any German listeners. That was weird. That was not even close. Just chuck a Ich bin or like a Gut in there. Jesus, give us something.
This is hundreds of years ago.
No, the Germans, they nailed the language on the first try.
All right. Well,
very efficient people.
Anyway.
Did you win it in German?
I got it better.
Did you get it right?
I got it close enough.
Really? He gave you the point?
I got the point.
That's nice.
And it was also very funny.
What movie do you love that we'd be the most surprised to hear you love? Because right now, I'm definitely getting Die Hard, Gladiator. I'm like, yeah, that's all on the board.
All right. Can we guess? Can we guess if there's a film that you might like that nobody would think you'd like?
Sure. I'm sure there's plenty.
Legally Blonde.
Nah.
Okay. Didn't like the law part. Long-running feud. All right. A movie that you really like. All right. As a man who's owned a very high-definition TV, I'm thinking the first Avatar.
Nah.
Damn it.
It wouldn't have totally surprised me if he had, though.
I look like a bit of a special effects boy.
Any fantasy? Harry Potter. One of the Harry Potters.
Yeah, I like him, but I'm trying to think of one that was... you remember, I'm nearly 40 years old. There's some like old bangers in there, you know?
Casablanca?
Not that old. Not black and white old.
Chinatown?
I think these are very guessable ones as well. Like Jerry Maguire would be up there for me.
Yeah.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh yeah,
that's an old classic.
Yeah, that is a classic.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Divorce film. Your parents are together. You just wanted to see how we live, huh? Little separation tourist.
Yeah. I saw Meryl Streep do an interview a little while
Was
ago.
it Judi
said-
Dench?
It
Helen
was
Mirren.
Helen Mirren. No, it was
About that
Denzel.
movie.
I think it was Denzel. Sorry, I forgot. Kramer versus Kramer. Denzel versus Michael Richards. And boy, did things get heated in the courtroom.
Denzel won the battle, but Michael won the war.
I think Meryl said something about Dustin being like rough with her, like between scenes, just to like, you know, because he's like a method actor, to like make her hate him. He like slapped her, and like she did not think that was cool.
That isn't cool.
No.
I'm for that. I don't. This
He's a
method
method
actor.
actor.
This method actor thing. Like, I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? Just like I'm just like this.
Yeah.
It's like fuck you.
It's the only thing I have against Jared Leto. Otherwise, big fan.
30 seconds to Mars. Tom's into it. Can't get enough.
Have you seen there's theories that Jared Leto is like a legitimate cult leader? Have you seen that?
I could, like, based on the appearance, yeah.
He's got this very like insidious like fan group that he keeps.
Wait. Do you mean cult leader or Scientologist?
No, cult leader. Like
wow.
he's got like a fan base who are all like cult members.
He's got a weird energy to him. I couldn't believe it that he could pull it off.
I believe in him. Yeah.
He's got that look in the eye. He's played a inferior Joker, but still the Joker, and like that kind of creepy energy.
That's the most famous Jared Leto you're going? I would have Dallas Buyers.
Yeah.
Most famous is probably the Joker, right? Not best, but most famous. Is that like the worst? It's like the only objectively hated Joker, right? Like I feel like every other one, people like that was so good.
Yeah.
Is there another Joker that?
Do people like the Jack Nicholson?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, older people. I remember getting into one of my ex-girlfriend's dad was like obsessed with it being like Jack Nicholson's the best Joker. And I was like, have you seen the Heath one?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but he was just classic. The way he took the role. Like the older generations are obsessed with Jack Nicholson's version of it.
I've somehow got trapped in a Facebook feed of Jack Nicholson info. I
What do
just
you got?
can't get out. No, it's just photos of him. Like in 1976, Jack Nicholson starred in this film. It's just like a photo of him as it's still in the film.
Wasn't he raised like he didn't know that he's like his sister or something?
Oh,
his
was
mum?
his-
Like
yeah.
he grew up and been like a burlesque house or something like that.
Huh. I don't know that.
Yeah, something like that.
What's that piece of trivia from The Departed that you told me at one point, which I fucking love? This is like Jack Nicholson like making a scene better just on his own.
Oh, that was just from a Matt Damon interview, right?
Yeah.
Matt Damon's talking about that Jack Nicholson was like doing a scene, and like the scene in the Scorsese script, it just has that he like shoots someone in the head on a beach, and then like it was just Matt Damon doing an impression of Jack Nicholson, going, "But if you keep the camera rolling, maybe I can say, gee, she fell funny."
That's
Which is a fucked up thing to say because it implies that I do this all the time and there's a normal way that you fall.
Yeah.
But if you keep the camera rolling, and it just keeps going on about all these extra bits that you could add to it.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you're like a nobody actor and you're saying that to Martin Scorsese, you'd be like, yeah, we're moving on. Right? But when Jack Nicholson does it, you're like,
actually,
fuck.
we're getting rid of you. We're just going to CGI De Niro younger. This film's continuing on as per. You're a fuckhead. See you later.
So good though.
But right, this is my theory that I was getting to before the ad break about the film and like the on demand and like the streamer, like the streamer versus free to air. I think the streamer is fast food, and I think free to air is the degustation. Because the streamer, it's a big flashy screen. You get to choose what you want, when you want it. You pick that. You get tricked by how it's delivered to you on the screen. Whereas the free to air television is like, hey, we've got a plan for your day, and we're just going to take you through it. And at the end, you're going to thank us.
So welcome to the degustation. For the first course, we have a taste of American Gladiators. Like, what? It's not like high quality content, is it?
American Gladiators, that's just for anybody who stayed up all night doing cocaine and watched the DVD 3 times already. And then following that, we've got Aerobics Oz Style for the mums who wake up before their children and want to stay in shape whenever they can. But after that, your kids are going to get up, aren't they? Got a beautiful family. And that's when you're going to like a bit of cheese TV. Maybe 90 minutes of cheese TV, 3 cartoons. Going to introduce them to Japanese concepts. That'll help them when they're older. And then after cheese TV, we're going to go to Blue's Clues, because that's when the kids who've gone to school have already gone to school, and the kids who haven't gone to school are still in the house. You want something a bit more childish? Blue's Clues. This guy's going to get arrested for some weird shit later. Don't worry about that. Clues are in the title. After that,
Wasn't there a theory that guy killed himself? Do you remember that?
I mean, I didn't realize you were going to go that fucking blue about this.
From Blue's Clues?
Yeah, I think so. And then it turned out he didn't, but there was a rumor.
All right. Then at 11 a.m. I reckon I could do all day.
Watching TV?
11 a.m. Then you got Bert Newton on the screen. You remember Bert Newton, don't you? Because you're old too. And that's why you got nothing to do at 11 a.m. because you caught the bus yesterday and now you're tired. And Bert's going to give you a couple of products that you can buy for your 2-bedroom house. Then after Bert Newton comes on, we're going to go to the news again. You know the news? You remember the news? You like the news? You heard it on the radio this morning. Now you're going to watch it again. Then we're going to go to the afternoon.
I remember getting locked away sometimes for like days at a time when it was like a COVID outbreak. And so you'd be sitting there just watching TV from like 7:30 in the morning. And so you'd have to start with your celly planning out your whole day of TV.
Oh, it's like you're switching channels.
You're switching channels.
I'm like, I think you just got to pick one.
No.
You know, you chose your restaurant for the evening, fucking see it through to the end.
Nah, you got to move around.
I love channel surfing.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got to. And so you'd have the morning, you'd have Today's Show or something, Sunrise in the morning. Then luckily, because all the extra channels that they got these days, there'd always be like some weird like NFL documentary at like 10:30,
NFL
11.
films?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That helped a lot just to get you through that morning period before lunch.
American sports like just realize that they should film shit properly a little bit earlier than Australian sports did. So they just have like the NFL, I swear to God, must have like 1,000 hours of documentary film about like every notable player.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's done really well. And like, yeah, you can just watch it.
Every
forever.
guy, every Super Bowl, every streak, every coach, everything,
incredible.
and they've got a back to back on these channels, and you're like, thank God, I just needed something to get me through this.
Let's get a
rough
lot of
patch.
B-roll of this guy just in case he turns out to be really good or a murderer. Let's hedge our bets. Or in Harry Hernandez's case,
It's
both.
true. It's true. It's crazy how many stories of someone that turns out to be famous. They have so much B-roll footage, background footage of just them hanging out, or just like talking about what they might do in the future. And you're like, I don't have any of that. Does that mean we're doomed?
Of just you in high school being like, yeah, I don't want to go to film. I don't want to be taught how to act. You know what I'm saying? I just think to ruin my love for the game. Andrew Hamilton, 18, like interviewing a drama teacher. Like, yeah, he came and made the final of the Shakespeare competition, and we'd never seen this kid before.
We don't
I
get it.
still can't get over the final of the Shakespeare competition. Like, it's a tie. Sudden death sonnets.
Sudden death sonnets. And the loser has to Romeo and Juliet, if you know what I mean. I was going to say, he did The Merchant of Venice, just sneakily the most anti-Semitic Shakespeare play.
Is that how you remember it, Hammer?
I don't remember that subtext. Why?
It was either that or do Othello and blackface up. So
What do you think they had more at Riverview at that stage? Black people or Jews?
a mutual friend of ours, Artie, a friend of ours who went to theatre school, told me that at their theatre school they ended up doing a version of Othello where they inversed the race, where Othello was played by a white person and the other characters were played by black people. And I was like, that's interesting, but it's also removing the only black main character in Shakespeare. Like, we'll take that as well, thank you.
No, we just really want to nail this play. So obviously the lead role needs to go to a white.
I mean, it seems like it's a few rap lyrics away from imitating Hamilton, the musical, which it's never made sense to me that is such a hit musical.
Have
Hamilton.
you seen it?
I've seen it. I hated it.
I think, to be honest, you say like films that you didn't think Hamo would enjoy, more musicals than you'd expect.
He likes musicals. You
I'll
think he would like more
I
musicals?
wouldn't think he'd like musicals that much, but I'm sure this guy's got a working knowledge of Jersey Boys.
I've seen a few musicals. Yeah. Wicked I liked.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not like Wicked.
Well, have you seen Hamilton?
I have seen Hamilton.
You like that?
Oh, I enjoyed the spectacle of Hamilton. I don't like the fact that it's all singing. I would have liked a little bit of dialogue.
It's not even singing. It's rapping. Most of it. I couldn't follow what they're on
Rap's
about.
not music.
I can't understand it. And it's based
Back
on
in my day, we had real music.
and it's based on a piece of
We had
history.
real musicals. This is just noise.
Where's the Motley Crue musical? That's what I want to know.
It's based on a piece of history that was involving a shitload of white people, and it was written by a Puerto Rican dude, and I don't know why they're rapping. And I'm like, why couldn't he have written about like a really cool part of Black history?
Why are all the couples in ads gay now? I don't understand.
And he's
just
also
like-
not a likable guy, Hamilton.
I just like you couldn't suspend disbelief about them rapping. Because I'm seeing a black guy rapping, and I'm going to need some backstory here. This just doesn't make any sense. I mean, why is Meryl Streep the lead?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't really have a concept of Hamilton, but I was wondering, like, are you particularly annoyed about it because your last name is Hamilton? Do you feel some kind of association?
Well, I mean, at first I was excited to go because of the namesake, but then
It's probably about me.
But then this guy, Alexander Hamilton, turned out to be a bit of a boring douchebag, and then he gets shot and killed. Spoiler.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
I didn't like it.
Yep. I want to see Hammer write musical reviews from now on.
Oh, I've been thinking about writing a prison musical. That'd be good.
That would be good. You should do
There
that.
we go. Like a funny musical, like the Book of Mormon, but a prison one.
Okay.
You know,
All right. Have you got a pitch?
don't drop the soap, baby. That's
There we go,
That'll
it's
be
done.
one of the classic songs.
Put it in the can.
Probably could have used some drama for that, you know? Just a bit of training. Wait, are you doing the cover like don't tip the dope over, don't rock the boat?
Rock
You're doing
the
that?
boat.
I was
Drop the
just making
soap.
up my own version. Yep. And it'll all be in iambic pentameter.
Oh, that's
There we
cool.
go.
That's a hook. That's nice. I like the idea that there's a prison musical, but nobody sings because that is frowned upon. There's only one singing character in the prison musical, and that's Johnny Cash.
Now that's a musical where everyone can rap.
Man, have you seen the new prison musical? Yeah, the music's written by 1/4.
Actually, have you seen the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That rocks.
I didn't like it.
Really?
Didn't
I
like
thought
it.
it was fun.
You didn't like it?
I like Jersey Boys so much. I loved Jersey Boys.
I haven't seen Jersey
I
Boys.
was all about it. Frankie Valley, good time.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I feel like this is a far cry removed from when's the appropriate time to do drugs at a wedding. So
I was
musical have you
just
seen?
about to say the audience that we've attracted from some of our recent content is suddenly like, what? They're not suddenly talking about musicals? Wasn't for me.
It's been a real long lead into the actual topic of the podcast. Well, look, just to get us back on track, I was talking to someone about the podcast. They're like, Flog Cabin, and that reminded them of peep shows. So apparently, a peep show, you know, the thing where you go into the booth with the lady and the screen goes up, apparently they used to put coins in. Like, I didn't realize it was just literally like a $2 coin, and then like the thing goes up, and there's like some lady kind of dancing and like touching her vagina or whatever, and then you're jerking off, and then you like leave. $2, what a deal.
That's good value.
That's called a flog box.
Oh.
In Australia. So like, oh, is that what you're getting at with Flog Cabin? And I was like, join the Patreon.
I didn't even know we had those here. I went to one in Amsterdam when I was 18, but I thought it was like a proper like kind of.
Did you
I don't know.
finish?
Oh, I only had $1. And yes,
She's like,
box.
we actually take euros, and you're like, oh, sorry.
can I get some change for the pilot vending machine?
I remember being in a sex shop in Berlin, and I had a woman that just does blowjobs in a room for like €20, and she came out. And she was like, "Do you want a blowjob?" And I said, "No, thank you." And she was not a good-looking lady either. And I felt like she looked so dejected that I'd like said no. But I was like, that must be a tough job. Like not only working in the blowjob box, but also getting turned down by people. Like
I'll be honest, I didn't think you'd have to flyer for the blowjob box. I thought people who wanted to see it would come see it, you know? Just
Right.
like 2 for 1.
they had
Tuesday nights.
because they had a picture with her face on it and advertised the whole thing. So there was no need for her to come out at all. And that must be quite demoralizing to ask someone.
In
and
the
then they
picture,
say-
was her mouth open or closed?
I think it was just her topless smiling.
Smiling. Yeah, that's not hot.
I can't remember, but it was like I got enough information to know whether I would want to go into that room or not.
And then she came out.
And then she came out and said, "Hey, would you like a blowjob?" And I said, "No, thank you."
Dude, that's crazy. I thought the reflex would have been like, yes. Like, you know, do you want to? Yes, I would like one. Thank you. Oh, wait, with you? Oh, no. I thought you meant conceptually.
I think I'd already seen the ad. I'd seen the sign and already like made up my mind. So then it was like, it was an easy, there was no need for me to dwell on it in my head. I knew the answer.
Just turned it down and she just went away?
Well, yeah, she kind of like, she nodded and then she walked off. But I just like, I felt bad for saying no.
Like this. So this kind frau exited her box and was like, man, you know whose dick I'd like to suck? This bloke. This fella.
For €20.
For €20.
You know,
That's a very good deal,
it's a
Hammer.
great deal.
Even in Berlin, which is quite cheap. You know, that's what, like, you know, 7 donors. You know, you could have had 6 and a bit kebabs or a blowjob.
The look in her eye felt like she was going to go back and be like, you know what, I think I'm in the wrong business. Like it's been too many rejections today.
So I mean, like when comedians go to a comedy festival, no one turns up. Like I just think I'm just gonna have to do more spots where I live. Really work the material up. You know, I'm out here bombing. The last 3 dudes didn't come. I got a bad review. So that'd be so rough. Like, hey, can I suck your dick? No, thanks. Oof.
Oh, you reckon working the blowjob box would be rough? You think? That'd be tough.
Yeah.
I think working the blowjob box and being turned down is the worst part of it. I mean, if you were busy all day in the blowjob
for me,
box,
it'd be the blowjobs. put that out there right
The
now.
worst part is the rejection.
If you
I think
chose,
that's the worst part.
if you chose to work in a blowjob box and people are like, oh, mate, you got to go.
Sorry,
see.
let's just go back. You chose to work in a blowjob box? I don't think she had a huge amount of options. It was like, yeah, I'm thinking Google marketing or blowjob box. What's it going to be?
Yeah, you go to university, you got a dual major in blowjobs and shapes.
You know the worst thing about being a German lady working in the blowjob box? You head home, what do you have as a snack? A bratwurst. Taking your work home with you. It's a fucking nightmare. She can't get away from cylinders, this broad.
But wouldn't it feel better, at least for the ego, to be the busiest blowjob box in town?
Absolutely.
You know? Like, if you're going
Good
to
for the
choose...
ego, bad for the throat.
Like, isn't there something that's just nice to be wanted at times?
Absolutely. Do you reckon, like, all right,
You go to the sex shop, you're like, fuck, there's a line for the box. Damn it.
guys are coming here during lunch. It's always so busy. It's like Berlin, there's like Berghain, the club, and like people go in at like 11 a.m. because like there's no line and they can get in or get rejected, and then like they have the stamp for the weekend. It's like the blowjob box person. It's like you're in there at like 4:30 a.m. and it's like, you really want a blowjob now? Like, I mean, I was sleeping,
Coming fresh.
schlafen. And they're just like, yeah, but there's no line. I hate queuing up. I'm always watching the guys ahead of me being like, do they have clean dicks? I don't know. Is there like a bit of Listerine in there? What's happening in the blowjob box? What's the cleaning process?
I mean, I don't know. The mind boggles. Next time I'm in Berlin, I'll go back.
Dude, with inflation, it's going to be 22 now. Absolute nightmare scenario.
The same chick, she's just gotten significantly older. You're back.
You have returns?
You want blowjob now?
I remember you. You had the best looking dick through the pants I've ever seen, and you turned me down. I was giving subpar head for weeks. Actually, wait, German. Subpar Kopf. Now a good time to mention, just speak a bit of German, just a little bit, just enough. Just enough to spice up this chat with the German blowjob lady. How about this, fellas?
Talk to me.
I had this the other day, and I feel dirty bringing it up. I don't like that I'm bringing it up, but Mary got a melon head. You remember a melon head? The Coogee Smoothie Institution.
Melon head sounds like something you'd get at the blowjob box.
That costs extra.
Well,
no, I've never heard of the melon head.
Well, it had, it's like Coogee Bay Road, I believe. Surely the mail that goes down to Coogee Bay Road. It's just, I think if you're like around these, I'm surprised you don't know it.
No, I don't know.
Very famous smoothie place, been there forever. Like they got merch, they've been in the
one of
business
those
a while.
places.
Yeah, but it's good. It's like a good place. And we were there the other morning. Mary got a blueberry crush smoothie, and they gave us the things afterwards. I got a honey bee.
What do you mean?
That was the flavor I got.
All right, gotcha.
And mine had HB on it, and hers had BBC on it.
Good.
She got the BBC.
Yeah, and then we went back to her family house, and I've noticed this in the living room, and I want to bring it up. I want to bring it right up, but the brothers are there, and I'm like, this is not the really thing that you joke about with the brothers in the room. But then she was like sucking on it. Yeah, sucking on the
BBC,
fucking, yeah. And she's been like, oh man, it's so thick, it's hard to get down. So I'm getting cucked by this fucking smoothie.
Do girls have the instant connection
No,
to BBC
they
that
do
we
not.
have?
No.
Okay.
They think British Broadcast Corporation. That's what
Yeah.
they think.
Okay.
100%. That's like every dude, probably Denzel Washington especially. We know what it is, and there we are. And it was just real, like, I'm just itching to make an inappropriate comment, and I'm like, what if I say it and the brothers don't get it? Then I know they're like watching not that kind of pornography, and that's weird to know about
So
someone.
you didn't want to out yourself either.
I just didn't want to. There's no good way for that to end. So PBC, that's a funny acronym. Right, fellas?
I would have just assumed that other dudes would know.
Yeah.
But it's
Like,
your
hey, boys.
It's your wife, it's your brothers-in-law and your wife in a room. And you're like, lads,
You're just making big eyebrows at the word. You're like, hey, see that? Catch that? What do you?
pretty funny initials.
What does that make you think about?
I'd be all over that. I'd be like, Mary, how's the BBC? Are you enjoying it? Looking at the boys, like anything? No?
Have you had a BBC before, Mary? This is the first time. First time since I've been doing
You look like you're about to
BBC.
choke on it.
Does it take you back, Mary? No, you can do it. You can do it here.
She's like, man, look at the size of this smoothie. Puts it next to her head. Anyway, thought it was fun. Bit of fun.
Yeah.
Bit of, to really just palate cleanse the old musical chat.
Yeah, we took a hard right turn away from that, didn't we?
Hamilton to blowjob box to BBC.
I was thinking the other day about business ideas that I had when I was younger.
So just want to just pause. We're an hour and 5 in.
Yeah.
Do we want to start a new thing? We want to do the business thing. Or do we
What
wanna
about
wrap
your
it up?
wedding thing?
Well, we can come. Well, yeah. I mean, it seems late to add anything on. Do you think, or do you think there's a lot to cut?
We started the recording really early.
Okay.
So I think we should go to at least 1:10, probably 1:15.
Okay.
Sorry, just because we recorded when
Yeah.
No
you were
one was
still.
here.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to do the wedding thing then?
Yeah. Cool. We're just segue away.
Well,
into this.
now that we're sponsored, I could put a bloody ad roll in there.
Oh,
and then we
right.
could just jump into the wedding thing.
So we got approved, did we?
Yeah, dude, we made like $2.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Done pretty well.
And what was that?
18 away from a blowjob.
What was that sound that you wanted to add in at moments?
I want a choral, like a female choral sound to be like Flog cabin.
It was a lady whispering initially. Now it's Coral.
I think I want both.
Yeah. Okay.
Porque no los dos.
And we can just chuck that in whenever we need a break to another segment.
Correct.
So you think the $2 in ad revenue is enough to hire a choir of women?
I don't know if you know this, Tom, but women come cheap.
$20.
I don't think she comes, dude. I'm just going to put that out there. Hammer thinks he's getting his dick sucked in the blowjob box, and she's like, I'm close.
You don't have that effect on women?
I don't know how to say close in German. Damn it. Ich bin something.
When I was at the wedding that I was at last
You've been
weekend.
to so many weddings.
Be specific, Tom. There's a wedding every couple of days with you. We can't keep track.
They're all basically the same wedding. They're the same
Just a
kinds
bunch
of
of
people
white
doing the
people.
same kinds of things.
Yeah,
There's
and a
Aperol
nice-
spritzers. There's espresso martinis. White people.
Is this my wedding photo or is this my year 12 photo? I'm not sure.
But anyway, so we're at the ceremony, and as it's about to kick off, I hadn't quite clocked it. There was a guy behind the keyboard, and then another guy next to him, and I'm used to seeing kind of duos doing the music at weddings, and I didn't really think about it. And then I was kind of like, well, that other guy doesn't really seem to be doing anything. And then I saw as the ceremony started, and I think there was some kind of cue to start. This guy kind of tapped the keyboard guy on the shoulder, and he started playing. I'm like, what else is this guy doing? And then I saw a dog sitting behind the keyboard player, and it was at this point I realized the keyboard player / singer was blind, and people were very impressed by it. It was a big talking point for a lot of the wedding.
That they were blind.
They're like, have you seen the keyboard player's blind? He's pretty good.
I mean, these people are out there.
I mean, they obviously don't have access to every movie because Ray is there.
Ray and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, but a white one?
I mean, he doesn't know. It's me, man. Jamie Foxx, what an inspiration.
I mean, how did you feel about it?
I was kind of like, oh, okay, so I wasn't, just pure musicality, I'm like, okay, well, most, obviously, it's more impressive than not being blind. But I'm like, most musicians, they're not looking at what they're doing. They kind of do it by feel anyway. The thing I was impressed by was when every now and then he would dial something in on the synth. He would kind of do the dials and stuff. And I was like, that's impressive that he's learned what all those knobs do and how to affect them.
What would be the most the most impressive instrument that you could see a blind person playing, where you'd be like, you know what, Got to give it to him.
The gong. You've only got one fucking shot at it.
Okay, so
You're standing there to the side, and then suddenly it's gong time, and you just got to swing like a pinata.
okay, like drums would be like there's a level of
No, but this is the thing. When you're sitting, like everything's kind of in the position of where you're sitting. But like I feel anything outside of that is where it gets hard.
So you reckon like we're assuming setup is taken care of. It's just plug and play. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not that hard.
That's the outcome. Guys, got to start giving blind people credit for playing instruments. Not that hard.
Xylophone? I reckon xylophone would be pretty tough. Because you got to you've got a small target to hit. Like you'd want to be, you know?
That's true. Xylophone hard.
So this guy was also singing as well?
Yeah.
How was he singing? Was he good at music?
Yeah, he was excellent. It was really, really good. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I would think it's cool, but I don't know if I'd be gushing all night.
I don't know if I'd bring it up on a podcast.
Days later.
He was cheaper, right?
Well, I don't know, because there were two guys. Because he had the guy. Because the guy had to tap him a few times to be like, the bride and groom finished their walking down the aisle. It's like, go play. Like he had to let him know like the cue to start. But I'm like, is that guy getting paid?
I mean, let me tell you something. If you're a guide dog,
Wait.
great client.
So the guy that tapped, was he doing music as well?
Nah, he was just there.
He was just there as a
hanging
tapper.
out. He was literally just like sitting on the ground next to him as he was playing.
Oh, man.
Ironically, that guy was deaf. You can see him coming. He tells his mate, and there you go. We're on. I don't know. It is impressive, obviously, but like I don't know how long you'd talk about it. Would they want? Do you reckon the blind guy's looking forward to that? Like, you know, he's using his fucking sonar to listen in and be like, "Man, I'm getting a lot of compliments in there." Like, but Gary, you're on the drive home. It's like, have I told you this? When I really early on in doing comedy, I was doing like a Sydney Fringe show in like a courtyard, and before me was a band, and one of the band members was playing the guitar.
Oh yeah,
fun. But wearing like sunnies, even though it was night. And I get on stage after being a brand new comedian, like he's sitting like near the front, and I was like, this fucking guy with his sunnies on, too cool, brother, with the guitar, love it. You know, but even worse than that, because I was new at doing comedy. And then at the end, I saw his dad help him up and lead him over to finish the pack up, and I was like, oh.
You have to tell me that.
No wonder that set went poorly.
You weren't to know.
No. I found out though.
I think I told you about when I did a comedy gig for a blind charity, and there was like a whole bunch of seeing eye there was the dogs in the audience.
Sorry, I'm just picturing the entire crowd of seeing eye dogs.
There was
it's a blind charity. You know, these guys work hard every day. They just want to relax at their AGM.
There would have been 12 dogs in the room, in a small room with like maybe like 40 people. And,
wow.
At the end, one of them came up to compliment Pat Galamco, but because they were blind, they come up to me first, and they were like this close to me.
Yeah.
And then they realised that I wasn't the guy, and so they no, that's not him, and kept moving down. And then like right next to me, Pat Galamco, just want to tell you how good you were today. And it was like, so in terms of like brutal rejections, like that's up there because normally they just go straight to the person.
Yeah,
but then to get that close to be like, wait, I hated you.
Wait, that's how your voice sounds? No good. I'm just liking the idea that like they shake your hand without realizing, and they just think Pat Galamco's a fucking unit, as opposed to like a 5'5" Filipino boy.
Yeah.
I did try to start like my first 5 minutes was all blind gags, which I thought would be quite funny, but I don't know.
Give us one, go on.
I was like,
what hadn't they heard before? I don't know if you know about blind people, Hamo. They fucking listen.
I said, when you're interviewing people to hire them, but you don't ask them where they see themselves in 5 years.
This is good gear, folks.
I said, who's the boss here? Is he any good, or is it the blind leading the blind?
Hey, that's all right. In fairness, that's fine. I'm here for that.
It was that quality stuff.
If they didn't laugh, mate, they're bloody Helen Keller.
We had a blind guy at the Flog Cabin show on Saturday.
Yeah.
Front right.
Oh, no, he wasn't in the Flog Cabin show. He was in the showcase.
Are you sure? I
Yes.
think he was. I don't think so. I remember it going well.
Oh yeah, the showcase didn't go well.
Oh yeah, it was definitely in the showcase. The guy with the
I thought so.
was
the
Yeah.
guy with the dog. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the dog walked
No,
out.
but there were two. There were two guys with dogs though.
There was the other guy isn't blind. I think it's just his. What do you call it? A support dog?
Emotional support
Buddy
dog.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
His mate,
Yeah.
his pal.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but if you have a wedding and you got a penis and you want me to be really impressed with them immediately,
Deaf.
midget.
Oh.
There's already been a good deaf penis, Beethoven.
Oh yeah.
But like a midget, like it'd be so hard for them
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Beethoven.
Oh, sorry, a dwarf.
Hundreds of years ago.
I'm just imagining like if you got like a dwarf penis, there's actually three of them. One of them going this end, one of them going this end, one of them hitting the pedals.
Pedals. That's so funny.
As someone who is slightly obsessed with little people, I would love to see that as well.
Absolutely.
And then do drugs with them. But
Oh, we did so many drugs. We forgot about the piano.
Actually, they got a fourth guy with them, just cutting up lines. These dwarves party, baby. Actually, you know what? Sorry, just I've been trying to book a sexy thing for this Bucks party.
yes, how'd you go with that?
I tapped out. This is going to come out actually after the Bucks party. So what we did is I just was like, fuck it. People have kind of talked about a stripper, but they didn't want like a stripper. They just want something sexy. So I got the groom a male stripper's outfit, like the cuffs and like a mankini kind of thing. And I'm going to make him serve us drinks for an hour or so at the house.
Yeah. It's not
Well,
a terrible
I'm glad I
idea.
can still cancel the order on Amazon. I thought it was all right.
Did we talked about a fatagram, did we?
Yeah, we talked about the fatagram. I don't want the fatagram. I've seen the fatagram.
Have I told you my fatagram story?
No.
I called up for my mate's Bucks party because a similar problem. We were like, how many parties with strippers and cocaine can you have before you like it's
Become a bit jaded.
just desensitized to it? Like, well, it's been done, boys.
Yeah.
So we hired a fatagram, and I had to research fatagram providers. There aren't that many, to be honest, in Sydney.
The gap in the market.
But I think it's called like Damien's Bucks parties, and like
Unfortunately,
they've
no
got
one
a,
can squeeze through it.
So I called this guy, and I'm like, I'd like to order, Katrina or whatever her name is, and he goes, "Look, she might turn up, she might not." He goes, "She's a bit unreliable, but I guess if she was more reliable, she wouldn't be so fat." And this is the proprietor of the business. This is the guy that runs the fatagrams. And I was like, I don't think I want to work with a guy that speaks like this about his own staff.
That's true. That's fair. I think he should have Katrina's back.
Yeah.
So I do not like the way you were speaking about these fatties.
But anyway, we'll book her for 7 p.m.
And she makes it. She makes it.
She did turn up, and she was fantastic.
What does a fattygram do?
So there's different tiers of options. We went with the one which obviously every guy goes for, which is the one where they beat the shit out of your mate.
They just hit him.
And it's like a dominatrix version where they tie him up and they like whip him and stuff like that. But then they like lap dance and get naked and whatever as well. But like you want the one where like there's just humiliation for your mate. What else are you going to these parties for? I mean, that's what you've done, right? You're trying to humiliate your mate.
Well, it's just like a little bit of that. I mean, I was looking more specifically for like kind of classy. I was looking for like a Lord of the Rings stripper, not out there. I was looking for a Star Wars stripper because the guy like likes the fantasy stuff, and I was like, that could be fun. Just give it a bit of something as opposed to like here's.
I know you're saying they're not
Amber
out there,
and
but can't you
whatever.
just order a stripper and say, "Can you dress up like an elf?"
Yeah.
Can you do that?
What?
Yeah.
What?
You got to supply the costume.
I reckon.
I want them to be humming the theme as they take their clothes off.
We're gonna have to prepare for this. Do you want to come over and watch the trilogy tonight? We'll pay for your time, but you can be clothed.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be funny if like the Ring of Power was his arsehole. Is that Shell?
You just reminded me of being at a party one time, and it was time for the strippers to go home, and we were all cooked up, and I messaged their boss and was like, "Can we extend by 2 hours?" And then And the boss was like, "Yeah, no worries." And they didn't know this yet; they were still in the room. And I was like, "Oh no, I just asked your boss if we can make you guys stay here and listen to our boring coked up stories for 2 more hours." And the girl's look was like just sheer horror that she was going to have to like listen to us talk shit for another 2 hours, just like sitting around topless, just listening to us talk absolute shit. And she was like, "No, that can't be right." And then she messaged her boss. It was like, "Yeah, it's legit. They booked you for another 2 hours."
Man,
That's that's where nightmares begin for the strippers these days. They're just having to listen to idiots talk.
Hey guys, can I please just suck you off?
I knew I should have stayed in Berlin.
I really like the idea that you hire the regular stripper, you get her to dress as Lord of the Rings, and she shows up underprepared, and she's like, "You will not pass." I'm like, Sandy, can I talk to you outside for a second, please?
Did you study any of the Elvish?
Did you? I think in the movies.
Tolkien's written a book about Elvish.
I don't think you understand the situation. This is Peter Jackson's birthday. He's gonna know. Your feet are not hairy enough. This is a fucking nightmare.
I swear to God, if you don't become better prepared to George Lucas's anniversary, we are going to be...
Oh man! All right, yeah. I didn't realize you could just make them. I thought like they'd have options like outfit wise, or like the company would be like, we can do themed stuff. I didn't realize you'd call them up direct.
But
like, hey.
were you? It seems like you were looking for a Star Wars themed stripping agency.
Yes.
I mean,
What would that be called?
There's a burlesque company that did it as a tour show around Australia. The Empire Strips Back.
I have seen that, yeah.
But the
Wow.
tour has ended, unfortunately. I don't think they do private parties. The Sydney show was at the Enmore.
hey, money talks. Money talks.
My money talks very quietly.
I think that most of them would have like the usual set, right? They'd have naughty nurse. They'd have cop.
Cop for sure.
They got schoolgirl.
Okay.
Yeah, they got them. But then if you're asking for like really boutique, bespoke outfits, then those ones, they'd either want you to pay extra and give them a week warning to try and get the stuff, or they'd want you to supply it, in which case they'd probably hate you telling them, here's some clothes for you to put on.
Fuck, how niche could you go? Could you come as Al Pacino in Heat? I'll do De Niro.
It's so funny. You get there and like, hey, here are the clothes I want you to wear. And they're calling their boss being like, I think we've ordered the wrong person. This is the opposite of what our industry is about. I mean, I just like the idea that, you call up and be like, hey, yeah, so I want you to dress as a Waratahs fan? How'd you know it was a private school bus? Oh, you went to Abbottsley. Fair enough. You've got your own scarf. Excellent. Have we done it? I think we've done it.
I've done it.
We made it. That was pretty hot. That was the weird musical section. Some would call it the chorus.
I think people are going to listen to that and be like, my God, these guys have range. You know? Why can't
They're talking Heat. They're talking Hamilton. They're talking fattygrams.
I gotta say, when you mentioned the strippers like having to listen to your boring anecdotes and wanting to call their boss to double check, all I was picturing was like they'd be like, "Hey, listen to 2 episodes of this podcast. I'll pay you." And they're like, "Oh no, anything but that."
They just wanted to go home. And I was like, no, we paid for you to listen to our coked up stories for longer. No!
The Wilhelm scream. All right. Thank you, floggers, for tuning in for another goddamn week in the cabin. Please keep sharing it, telling people, inviting your mates who like musicals, blowjobs, and
Cannibalism.
I was going to say blind people.
Oh, yeah. We're on the fence about blind people, really.
We've got range.
We're on the fence. They don't know where we are, but that's where we are.
And follow us on Instagram. We're growing.
Yeah, we are
nuts.
growing. We're gonna hit 1K pretty soon. Then we're gonna be 1/100th of the way to Andrew Hamilton.
That's true.
We haven't talked about that.
We
You want to
haven't
talk
talked about that? We'll get to that.
We got it.
very
Well,
soon.
we're doing. I thought we were doing the Centurion episode to celebrate 100,000.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got to do as many shots of beer as they've got followers on Instagram. I'll be out at 18.
It's gonna be a very light. Can I have more, please? Can I finish my beer before I go?
Pour it back, Tom. So please do that. Give us the review because some piece of shit gave us a 4-star review on Spotify, taking our average down from 5. You fucking dog.
So this is my question: do we know they gave us 4, or could they given us 1?
In my
'Cause
head, it's 4.
Yeah, which is way cuntier, right? Like
Yeah.
I'd almost have more respect to giving us 1. Like,
Either
yeah,
way,
we
that
hate
cunt's
it.
getting buried under the cabin.
So what's that brought us down to? 4.8 or something?
4.9.
4.9 from 46 reviews.
What is it, like a ladies' Uber rating? Anyway, like, subscribe, give the rating. Tom likes ratings. Hammer, end it.
Bye.